In today's video, guys, we're going to find out if we can run 2 Furrion chill cubes off the solar on our roof without any shore power. And then we're going to go over some numbers, how much power we're using with our old AC, and how much power we're using now with the 2 new Furrion chill cubes. And we're going to disconnect from shore power and see how long we can go. So stick around, check it out. To answer the question, if you can run 2 air conditioners, Furrion chill cubes off of 3,500 watts of solar, the answer is Hey guys, welcome to another video. I'm Chris, this is Salty Trips channel. We're all about full-time RV life, off-grid solar, stuff like that for RVs, and we are doing an experiment today, or we've been doing an experiment for the last several weeks. If you guys have not been following along, we finally put our second Furrion chill cube on our fifth wheel RV. So let's just start from the beginning for those that are new to the channel. We live full-time in our fifth wheel RV here in Florida, Central Florida, and we had our old RV and we found out about the Furrion chill cube and how efficient it was and how it works like a mini split with variable speed compressor and very efficient on power. So we installed that on our old RV, and then not too long after that, my wife fell in love with this new RV that we are in now. And we went and saw it and we bought it. And the very first modification we did was we took off one of those brand new Dometic FreshJet 3s, took it off the rear and replaced it with a chill cube because we knew how great it was. But we had a lot of other projects. We had to get all the solar installed on here and get everything ready. So I was thinking about putting 2 chill cubes on there at the time, but you know, with budget and stuff like that, I didn't think it was the right time. And then summer hit us, and man, the power hog that we have in the front, it's another Dometic FreshJet 3, and it is a power hog. I didn't realize how much a power hog it was going to be, but it didn't take long in the Florida summer to find out. And I wish I really would have got another chill cube from the get-go. So it was just too hot to get up there and swap it out. So we just waited till the fall came around. The weather was a little cooler so I could get up there and we replaced it. So we finally did. We just recently replaced the Dometic FreshJet with another Furrion chill cube, 18,000 BTU inverter compressor RV air conditioner. And it has been working just as great as the back one that we have here, and we love it. It's so quiet, and you guys will probably not believe the efficiency compared to the old one. We're going to run over some numbers here and explain how much power we're using, how much power we're using now, and how long can we run off-grid with 2 ACs without being plugged into shore power or a generator or anything like that, just running off of solar alone. And you might be surprised. All right, so before we start running over numbers, for all the new people, this is what we're dealing with our RV. We have 3,500 watts of solar on the roof, and we have 2 Victron inverters, 24 volt, 3000 VA, multi+2s run in parallel. So we have a total of about 4,800 running watts we can run off grid, and we have 20 kilowatts of battery power with lead time 24 volt, 200 amp hour batteries. We have 4 of those crammed down in our basement, and that's 20,000 watt hours, aka 20 kilowatt hours. And for all you people that need math equated in 12 volts, that would be 1,600 amp hours of 12 volt batteries. That would be 16 100 amp hour 12 volt batteries, 16 of them. And we have the same amount of power of that in 4 single 24 volt 200 amp hour batteries. If you're thinking about getting a solar system, I would highly recommend stepping away from 12 volt and going to 24 or 48 volt. I like the 24 volt systems because they have the 2x120 pass-throughs. That's a whole other video, which we have talked about before in the past. Anyway, so that's what we're dealing with for our solar off-grid situation. But right now we're hooked to shore power using our 30 amp power cord. We don't even have a 50 amp power cord anymore because we use the pass-through, which we have our input limit set at 18.5 amps of 120 volt incoming in-shore power. So the max it'll ever pull from shore is 18.5 amps, which is just a little over 2,000 watts. And then the rest is supplemented from the solar and batteries. The inverters take over any other loads, the inverters take over the rest and take care of all that mess. So that's why you're going to see some numbers in here. It's going to say shore power, it's going to say consumption, and you're going to have your solar power in some of these graphs over here. And your shore power is how much power, exactly that, coming from shore. And your consumption is something different. It is how much power your inverters are using, not including what's passing through with shore power. It's just what they are inverting from battery power and solar and DC loads. So consumption is inverting and DC loads. And then you have your solar input, which is how much solar are you bringing out. And these will all be in kilowatts. And 1,000 watts is a kilowatt. All right, so hopefully that explains what's going on with our solar system and setup. We have videos explaining all that in our solar playlist on our channel page. But now to get to the nitty gritty, we are going to talk about how much power we are using. And I'm also going to explain why I didn't go mini split and I chose the Furrion shell cubes instead, because I considered it. But here we go. Let me get some glasses on to read this stuff. But all right. So what I did was I took a graph of, with the Victron equipment, it's great because it stores all the information of how much power you're using, and you can go back and look up for certain dates and times to find out exactly how much you're using, for how much you're getting in solar, how much shore power you're using, how much you're consuming, all that stuff. So it's a great tool. So all that information is stored in the VRM, the Victron remote monitoring system. And you just click on that and you can put in dates and times and stuff and it'll punch out information. So this is what I did. I took the 2 weeks prior to when we did the new chill cube install. And so that's one chill cube and one Dometic FreshJet 3 running. And this is in the beginning to middle of fall in Florida, where it's still getting into the 80s and upper 80s during the day and mid 70s in the evening. So it's still pretty warm out, and it can get up into the 90s some of these days. So we got two ACs running. We still run our washer dryer here like every other day, you know, our microwave, toaster, all that stuff. We run, this is including everything. We're not pulling any punches. This is just normal living for us at this time. And this is what we got. We have 200 kilowatts from shore power and 155 consumption. And we pulled down 131 kilowatts of solar during this 2 week period. So that's a total of 355 kilowatts in a 2 week period. And then that morning we installed the new Furrion chill cube, and we were running 2 chill cubes, everything the same, like I said before. It's all, you know, doing laundry every other day. We're not pulling any punches. The air conditioning was set at 73 degrees on both air conditioners, and on the Furrion chill cubes, they're both set at 73 degrees. This is just the 2 weeks immediately after that. Outside temperatures are about the same. It's like in the mid 80s during the day and mid 70s to low 70s at night. And this is what we got over here. We had 92.7 kilowatts coming from shore and 119 kilowatts coming consumption. And then we only pulled down 120 kilowatts of solar. So that's about 212 kilowatts total compared to 355 kilowatts with the other one. So it was almost exact same conditions. And that is like 60% of the first 2 weeks. So we've had a power reduction of 40% by just adding that one chill cube and getting rid of that FreshJet 3. That is insane. It's almost cut in half. We'll go over some specifics of showing you how much these chill cubes are drawing here in just a minute. But that's insane, guys. Were you guys expecting more or less? I don't know. That's pretty amazing. Almost cutting the power usage in half. That's 40%. That's 59.71% of what we were using before, just by switching the second air conditioner. For you guys who don't know, the Furrion chill cube is not like a normal rooftop air conditioner. It runs like a mini split. By that, we mean it has a variable speed compressor where, like an RV rooftop air conditioner, usually the compressor kicks on and it just goes 100% max. And then your fan is either on high or low, and it'll keep running at max until it drops down to temperature. And we showed you before the other FreshJet 3 was at running on low, it was running 1500 watts nonstop. That's the minimum it uses. And then when you kicked it into high turbo mode or whatever, it would run about 1800, sometimes up to 1900 watts just by itself. And the Furrion chill cubes, the fans run all the time. So they're constantly running, but they will speed up and slow down. So they're constantly circulating air throughout your RV. So the air never gets stagnant in here. It feels like a home. And like you never get any hot spots, like when you walk down to the hallway or bathroom, and like there's certain areas of the RV that seem like a hotter temperature than that's not like that. It's like one smooth temperature throughout the entire RV with these things because they constantly circulate air, but they don't use that much power when they're doing that. When the fans are on low, with 2 of these running, here you go, they're about a little over 140 watts with 2 of these things running. So they're about a little under 75 watts each when they're running on low, just circulating air. But of course, as the temperature gets higher, they start ramping up, and a lot of times you only see it about 500-700, and like in this instance, it's running 2 air conditioners, and we are running 800 watts, and we're pulling down 2,000 watts of power off the roof. So we're running 2 air conditioners off of solar and putting power back in the bank. But sometimes when it's really hot out there, but of course this is not the middle of summer, this is still Florida fall, but it still gets hot out there, like upper 80s. And this is a typical when it's the hottest part of the day in the fall, is we're looking at 1400 watts right here. And usually it only stays up for a little bit like that, and then it drops right back down. But then sometimes it's only running 500 watts or 800. So it just depends. It comes up and down, and it hardly ever goes to like max. The most I've ever seen these things, so it was really hot. It was almost like 90 degrees outside, 2 air conditioners running, and it was pulling down 1600 watts, as you can see here, which is crazy because just that one air conditioner on low before was using 1600 watts just by itself. And this is with 2. And because they're 18,000 BTU each, they don't have to work near as hard to cool this place down as a 13.5 or a 15K air conditioner. And I think one of the big things is making sure you tape up inside the attic space so that all that cold air is making it out the vents. And these are the ducted versions, not the non-ducted. I have no experience with the the non-ducted versions, but we have these. This is going to be, we've gone through 3 of these things, 1 on our old RV and now 2 on this new RV. And they work fantastic so far as cooling and evenly cooling and having cold air blowing out the vents. So that is pretty impressive, guys. That's amazing how much less power these 2 air conditioners running as opposed to even just one of those old regular rooftop RV air conditioners. It is insane, the difference. And that's the reason why I didn't go with the mini split. I was thinking about going with the mini split until the Furrion Chill came out. Until the Furrion Chill Cube came out and basically combined the mini split into a rooftop air conditioner. And the only reason why I didn't really want to go the mini split way is because, you know, this is the back of the RV and we have a bike rack back there, because the big thing about the mini split is it comes in 2 pieces. There's the outside unit and then there's the inside unit. So you have to have somewhere to put both. And most people tend to just put it on the back, and with the bike rack, it would be in the way. And then you have to run coolant lines in through, and then we would probably mount it right up here. We'd have to get one that fits in between those 2, take those lights out and mount it up there so it could blow cold air in here. And mini splits are extremely efficient. But then we would need 2 of those because we'd have to replace the front one, because the back one's not going to do here and the front bedroom. It's just not going to get, the flow's not going to get down there. And the mini splits aren't ducted, so it's not pushing all the way down to the end or into the bathroom. So with the 2 Furrion Chill cubes with the ducting, I get even air distribution through the whole RV and the bathroom, which has its own vent, and that temperature stays the same as the rest of the RV too. So that's the big reason why I did not get a mini split, and I chose the Furrion Chill cubes over that, because they basically are the same thing. You can see the power usage. You might get a little bit better power usage out of a mini split, but I doubt much better than that. A lot of times these things are running at 400-500 watts with 2 of them running. And then if it does get warm in here, they'll both kind of kick up slowly and it cools down quickly, and then they just ramp right back down. And they're so quiet, you don't hear them ramping up or down, hardly. You can barely tell that they're even running. It's just a soft white noise. Can you even hear it right now? Like it's nothing. It makes this place feel like a home and not like an RV. I feel like we're living just in a small apartment, not an RV, which is kind of what we're going for. All right, so we took the measurements from the 2 weeks prior to installing the Furrion Chill Cube, and we put them up against the 2 weeks after we installed it. And then, you know, a few days went by, and then the cooler weather started coming in. We started seeing low 80s, high 70s during the day, and low 70s, high 60s during the night. So I'm like, we're going to unplug from shore power and see how long we can go. Anybody want to take any guess how long we made it? Run 2 weeks. This is keeping everything exactly the same like we usually do. We're not rationing power on anything. We are still doing laundry every other day, running our microwave, toasters, hair dryers, all that stuff like we normally do. We're not skimping on power at all. We have the air conditioner set for 73 degrees, and we're just going to unplug from shore power and let it ride. So anybody want to have any guesses how long we made it? And you'll be surprised to find out why we had to plug back into shore power, and it's not because of the chill cubes. I'll explain. So this is what we're going to go over. I'll put it right up over here. This is how long we made it. We made it 8 days. We unplugged from shore power, and we used 60.7 kilowatts, and we pulled in 78.2, which is kind of funny because you still see the battery going down every day, even though we made more power than we consumed. But obviously it's not accounting for, you know, heat loss and the solar exchange, transferring high voltage DC into the 24 volts needed to charge the battery, and the inverters taking like the 26 volts from the batteries and converting them to 120 volt AC power. You get some power losses there, and obviously this is not accounting for it or something, because we used less, we consumed less according to the chart than we pulled in. We actually pulled in almost 16 more kilowatts than we used. So obviously it's not completely 100% accurate as far as keeping track of things. But we made it 8 days running 2 air conditioners nonstop. Like I said, it's just in the 70s during the day, low 70s at night, and maybe sometimes in the high 60s at night. So the air conditioners were basically just running the fan all night long. The compressors would hardly ever kick on. And during the day, they would kick on when need be and get this place cool. And sometimes it would actually get up into like the low 80s, but it's constantly 73 degrees in here in the RV. And it's kind of funny why we had to pull from, we had to plug back into shore power. We had to turn the switch back on. And it's not because we ran out of battery power or we weren't getting enough solar, because the sun's been shining pretty good. And this is what happened. We got an error alert on our Touch 70 Turbo GX throwing a code, and I looked it up, and it says it's probably some kind of networking error, having trouble reading the slave inverter. And which is, when you set it up in parallel, you have a master and slave inverter. That's their terms, because this inverter is running that one, so they run in unison. But this one is controlling the other one to make sure they're putting out the same amount of power at the same time for the needs that need to be met. So while trying to diagnose some things, I had to shut off the batteries and everything and disconnect everything. And when you shut off from the batteries and you turn it back on, of course, the shunt loses the percentage of your state of charge. So in order to get the full state of charge back, and I wanted to do it in a hurry, I turned the shore power back on and set it to charge the batteries fully back up. And with the solar and shore power, they charged up quickly, so it could start reading 100% again, and then after that it'll start accurately reading it backward. But what it was is the network cable went bad. So all I had to do was replace one of the network cables that went from the one parallel inverter to the other, and that fixed it. So we didn't have any disasters with the Victron equipment. It was actually just the network cable itself. I've never had a network cable go bad, but that's the first for me. So we connected back to shore power. So we made it 8 days. I'm kind of wondering how long we could have made it, but we're going to find out here soon, because we have some big plans here in the future. We're going to share with you soon enough. To answer the question, if you can run 2 air conditioners, Furrion chill cubes off of 3,500 watts of solar, the answer is yes, in Florida in the fall. As far as June, July, August in Florida, we'll have to wait and see. And I know some people are probably wondering, why are you talking about air conditioners and stuff like that? And right now it's probably we're at the beginning of winter or the end of fall when you're seeing this video. But this is, if you're thinking about doing an upgrade to your air conditioning system, or you're trying to improve your off-grid system and be able to run an air conditioner, now is the time to do it when it's cool. Replace it with Chill Cube now before it gets hot and you're working up there on a hot roof, or you get into spring where it's raining. And that was one of the things that caused the delays. We wanted, at the end of summer, it started raining a lot. I had to wait for the temperature to cool down and make sure it's a day it's not going to rain, because here in Florida at the end of summer, beginning of fall, it rains a lot. So I'm happy we finally got to change that out and swap it out. I'm very happy with these results. Time will tell exactly how well we're due off-grid, moving around. But if you're going to want to find out, hit subscribe, notification bell, all that fancy jazz. Give this video a big thumbs up. I will leave links for the Furrion Chill Cube and videos for installing it in the description area below. In case you're interested in upgrading, I highly 100% recommend it. Furrion or Lippert didn't give us any of these things. We purchased all this with our own money, and we love it. So hopefully you guys will too. And we've heard a lot of great feedback from you guys viewers that have watched our videos and done the install yourself and saw the improvement for yourself. We love hearing the success stories that our videos are helping you guys out. So if they are, leave a comment below. Let us know how we're doing. Thank you so much for coming along, and we'll see you guys in the next video.